BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shade for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right, shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all, man. We up in this thing. Much love to the fam. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Fam, how y'all doing, man? Another round of applause for the Who Else, man. Big ups. Man, shout out to all y'all. Appreciate y'all for being in this stream, man. It is what day is this? Good Lord, man. All right, because this is the Wednesday stream, man. It be like that for me sometimes. Hump Day edition of the Coma. Much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all being in the stream on this one, fam. Listen, this one is, of course, is called Dennis Allen names QB Spencer Rattler Week 6 starter versus Bucs. Now, listen, this comes as a surprise to me. And we're going to cover all of the latest stuff about it. And it's quite ironic. Y'all know I've been very vocal about this, is that Dennis Allen got this one right after flubbing it up. Because the reality is Spencer Rattler won the job during training camp. And what Dennis Allen did is benched him, made him the emergency quarterback, so there is no smoke for Derek Carr, so he can operate without having a look over his shoulder. Say, why would they be worried about a rookie? Because the Who Dat Nation rides with Spencer Rattler. And Dennis Allen got it right, man. So he put his ego down and put the right quarterback. So some of the people that thinking Jake Haener got the snow job or whatever you want to call it, let me tell you something. He did not. All Dennis Allen is doing today is rectifying a wrong that he did when he violated the competition protocol, which is if you have an open competition on a football team or a basketball team for a job, and the other guy outperforms the other guy, he's supposed to get the job. That's why he played games with who's going to be the quarterback in week 1 and 2, because he knew he was trying to keep the pressure off of Derek Carr. So if Carr struggled and started throwing interceptions, what was going to end up happening was family from the stands would be calling for Rattler. He did not want that to be a problem. So he made Haener the number 2 guy. So this is why you're seeing this now for our people who thinking that Dennis Allen caved into the Who Dat Nation for Rattler. No, you got it wrong. Rattler won the job in preseason, and Dennis Allen played games with the job. But now he's rectifying a wrong because he knows if he don't win these over the next couple of days, his ass is grass. So shout out. We want to get that straight off the bat because a lot of people are saying, hey, hey, what would you Hayner got the snow? You got messed over. No, he did not. If you watch it, it wasn't even a close competition in camp. Truth is truth. Facts is facts. Hayner is a good guy, but at the end of the day, he did not outperform Spencer Rattler for the job. And only reason why, like I said, it was, and we talked about this before this even happened, because I know what kind of dude this is. But anyway, he got this one right. Saints starting, as you know, and this is what Mike Ruffalo, Ian Rappaport, what's my guy, Nick Underhill, all of them are tweeting this out. Saints are starting rookie QB Spencer Rattler per me and Mike Ruffalo, as Derek Carr is out for a few weeks with a tear. Now, listen, let me step on Dennis Allen a little bit, then we're going to move forward. Spencer Rattler, think about this. I want the great Saint think tank to put their thinking caps on here. That's why we call it the great Saint think tank. Put your cap on for a second. You already got it on. But for those who might not have the thinking cap on, put it on and think about this. Think about this for a second. You have Derek Carr, who's the quarterback of your team, starting quarterback. Spencer Rattler is not good enough to be his backup, not the number 2 guy. Think about what's going on. So the moment they realize that Derek Carr is out for multiple weeks, they leapfrog Spencer over Jake. As long as Carr was there, Rattler was good enough for the 3rd string quarterback. See, this is the politics that I was telling you guys about, that I basically predicted and told you about before the regular season started. I said he was going to do this, and he did everything. The only surprise was that he actually pulled his ego down and rectified the wrong. It made Spencer, that kid won the job. So that was an injustice that he made just today. So I'm not going to give him too much credit for righting a wrong that he himself screwed up. So Rattler is getting the opportunity that he deserves to get because he did it right. He went in there, he outperformed Hayner. So, but with that being said, I am very happy for Spencer Rattler that he'll get an opportunity to get in there and see what he can do against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team who is going to be very spiritually and mentally dialed in this matchup against the Saints because of what's happening in Florida. Prayers up to our Florida people out there going through this Milton monster of a storm that they have to deal with. It's supposed to be going ashore south of Tampa. Forgot the exact town. But prayers up to our Florida family members out there that's dealing with, those 2 hurricanes. And now they got this other flipping thing going up in there. We know how it feels, fam, to have to deal with these storms living on the coast. It's just very active right now. So they're going to be motivated, try to at least get the win to kind of uplift, so to speak, the people in the Florida community. So it's not going to be an easy game. Plus, they lost to Atlanta in overtime, so they'll be extra motivated for the matchup. And I'm very happy for Spencer Rattler, but at the same time, we need to give Spencer Rattler a running attack. Did it? Rico says drop to a 3. Okay, that's still dangerous. We still need to give him a running attack. So with that being said, let's just kind of give into some of this news. And we're going to play the press conference from Dennis Allen, starting quarterback Spencer Rattler, per me and Gruffalo. Carr is out for a few weeks with a tear in his oblique. A hurdle for the Saints, but also a look at a promising young QB. And like I said, the kid is going to be good, but we need to make sure Spencer Rattler has a running attack to kind of help that out. You know what I mean, fam? We need really to kind of give him a running attack to kind of help him out so he just don't be out there on his own. So anyway, that's a good story right there. Let's kind of move into the injury report right here on Wednesday, the first of the week's injury reports to talk about here for the Saints Wednesday injury report with the Bucs. And let's take a look at it. 11 Saints listed on this injury report for today. Now, the Saints conducted a walkthrough on October the 9th following an estimation of availability. So right now, as Taysom Hill has a rib issue. Now, a big point of contention that I want to kind of ask is, my little nursery rhyme that I like to throw at times and say, you know, when Taysom's away, Clint Kubiak can't call a play. But is this true? So, because is Taysom going to be available? Because that would help too, man. If we would get a W, man, that would be really big if we can get a victory. But is Taysom going to play? All right, but anyway, he was DMP'd for today. Cesar Ruiz with his knee DMP'd. Peyton Turner, Elvin Kamara, Derek Carr, Lucas Patrick, Will Harris, Pete Werner, and Rashid Shaheed all DMP'd. Right now, Willie Gay was limited, so that was pretty positive seeing Willie Gay on the list with a hand issue. Kendre Miller fully practiced. We'll see what happens with that. And then, of course, you look at the Bucs list. They got a lot of stuff going on. Graham Barton, their center, he is dealing with a hamstring, DMP'd. Christian Eisen, who is the defensive back, DMP'd. So is wide receiver Trey Palmer. And then, of course, you look at wide receiver Cameron Johnson is limited. Jalen McMillan is limited. Running back Rashad White, who's a pretty decent running back, was limited with a foot issue. Safeties Jordan Whitehead was limited with a groin. Antonio Winfield Jr., who's a pretty good safety in his own right, with a foot, he was limited. Defensive linemen Ernest Brown and William Golston one had rib and knee issues. They fully practiced along with Luke Godecki. The tackle had a concussion, fully practiced, and defensive lineman Kalaja Cansey had a calf issue, but he fully practiced for the Buccaneers, who are here, who kind of came to the area, man, to kind of get relocated because of the storm. So, like I said, once again, prayers up to those guys. There's a lot going on out there, man, in Florida. Anyway, that's some of the injury report right there, and that's a big part of as we monitor this report going into week. Would be interesting to see just where is Taysom Hill in all of this. Is Taysom Hill going to play in this game? We'll see. He's dealing with some broken ribs, according to the report, a broken rib, and some fractures, stuff like that. We'll see. Cesar Ruiz with a bum knee right there, might keep him out. But we know the offensive line, man, we got to do a better job in running support with that offensive line to kind of give Spencer Rattler an opportunity to have some semblance of a balanced offense, right? All right, Brother Judas says, Q, I think it was a front office decision more than Dennis Allen decision lesson to his press conference. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Brother Judy. Appreciate you there, man.
Thank you. Fuck too kind.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. And like I said, man, if it's a front office decision, right? And I'm not saying that who would it be? Would it be Mickey Loomis? I know it wouldn't be Gale. It wouldn't be Lauscha, right? We know for a fact it's none of those guys. So is it Mickey Loomis saying, hey, hold on now, Dennis. I think you need to put Spencer in the game. Let him. Listen here, I want to enjoy my clam chowder. We start losing. Playing clam chowder, it gets lumpy, and it's just I don't like it. We got to do something. And is that Mickey doing that? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, but we can rock with that, Judah. Much love, fam. All right, big ups to the fam, man. Let's keep it bucking, man. Y'all hit the like button for me as we keep it moving. And look at this, man. Let's look at this article right here. Shout out to John Sigler at the Saints Wire, man. This was a good one right here. Sean Payton's Broncos poached another Saints player. He didn't even draft him. I know y'all heard this before. I thought this was a bit of a funny right here for this Sean Payton pilfering players from the Saints, and really not pilfering them. We kind of dropped them off, and I was like, this is kind of weird, man. You got to probably put your tinfoil football cap on. Try to put your tinfoil football cap on, on this one. I don't know. It's kind of, yeah. Think about it like this, right? You got a guy, the whole thing smelled of sour clam chowder, right? So, I mean, the bottom line is you have a guy who they said was hurt, right? A.T. Perry. I'm just think about this for a second. And we know A.T. Perry is a 6th round pick. But A.T. Perry, the whole A.T. Perry thing was like head scratching, right? Because you don't often see a team just, give up on a player. And it wasn't like A.T. Perry was a bad player. He had a lot of potential. He's only been 2 years in, so you haven't really seen the best of him. There were other players dealing with injuries, and there I say there were players that were more injured than A.T. Perry. Nick Saldiveri, Kendre Miller, and there were others that were more injured than A.T. Perry. And if you have an injured player who can't play, he fits the breakdown to be put on the injury list, right? You don't cut him to place him on the injury list. You don't do that. You just place him on the list. Just like that. And then that frees up magically, almost like David Copperfield came through there and waved a magic wand, or Merlin the magician. And boom, wham, bam, bing, you got an open spot for McGovern, right? Well, we cut him to make a spot. If he's hurt, you just put him on the IR. There is no cap on the list for IR players, right? And so, so what they do? So they cut him. So Mike Triplett asked Dennis Allen during the press conference, was you going to sign, are you going to re-sign him on the injury list when he clears waivers? And Dennis Allen said, no. He says, practice squad. Now, I kind of scratched my head to that, even paused the broadcast. And I say, fam, if you have a player that's hurt, number one is you put him on IR right away. You don't wait to do it. An example is, look at what Kansas City did. With Rice, the fantastic wide receiver they had got hurt, they didn't cut him and then wait and say, hopefully he clears waiver, we'll put him on the injury. No, they just designated him an IR player, right? They didn't do that. They cut the man. They cut the man to say, okay, we need to free up the spot. Where just putting him on IR would have did the same thing. And then next thing you know, Sean Payton gets none of this makes sense, but hey, man, whatever, right? All right, this is getting silly, says what's my man name up here again? John Sigler, shout out to him, man. He says Sean Payton, Denver Broncos signed another former Saints player, but he didn't even draft this one. Wide receiver A.T. Perry signed with the Broncos practice squad on Tuesday. Now, of course, Nick Underhill had tweeted that Perry has been waived after being a healthy scratch for each of the Saints' 4 games in 2024. They drafted him in the 6th round of the 23 draft, and he made some nice plays and spot duty during the second half of the season, but he appeared to be a poor fit in Kubiak's offense, and the Saints chose to let him go. Through Dennis Allen emphasized that the door was open for him to stick around. The Saints even opened a spot on their practice squad by promoting guard rookie Hergel to the 53-man roster on Monday. But now Perry will be picking up a new playbook, or at least one similar to what he learned as a rookie. His former play caller, Pete Carmichael, is on staff with Peyton in Denver as some of the familiar faces, and the Saints family members could see him as soon as next Thursday when Peyton and the Broncos visit New Orleans for a primetime visit. Can A.T. Perry be possibly, whatever he knows, could he sprinkle Sean Payton with some of that game? When you get a player, right, that soon, of course, Sean Payton's going to say, man, let me talk to you about what's going on here. And he's going to give him game. So it's I just wanted to share that with y'all. That was a very interesting article, right? I was like, what is going on? People like, man, I think he opening up a spot for Adams. And, they both of them got number 17, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about that one, but it is what it is, right? Because IR, you don't have to clear a spot for practice squad for him. If you IR him doesn't come with a cap on how many players you put on it if he appears to be hurt. Whatever, so we're going to keep it moving, man. Anyway, let's move on to this guy. This guy right here looking like a whipped dog here. I mean, he just looking all down in the dumps. Hey, lift your damn head, man. All right. Anyway, shout out. True Hurt says, what's going on, Big Q? Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you. You're fuck too kind.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. And shout out to Sadat says, we should see if Jim Everett or John 4K. Yeah, I used to like John 4K. He was in for that. What was that? That was that was the strike year. It was a strike year when John Forcade was there. And John Forcade played decently for us that year. Would be willing to come back for a couple of games. Just sad. Thank you, man. Appreciate
Thank you. Get fucked too kind.
all I can say, fam, is in the end, man, we need to win this matchup, fam. We really do. We need to win this game. I said it last week against Kansas City, but it's getting kind of hectic. You know, it really is getting kind of hectic around here, man. You know, injuries are mounting, and I know most of these guys that are hurt will eventually come back. But man, I'm just being honest with y'all, fam. We dealing with some stuff. And see, and that's the part of the game that gets really difficult, right? When stuff happens like this, and then ultimately what occurs is you'd be looking at it, you say, damn, Saints got injury issues, like the offensive line is dealing with so much stuff. And then you look around, you say, damn, man, we need to learn. This happens, that happens. And that's how life hits you in the NFL. That's how it is. You got to be able to adapt, adjust, and still be successful, such as life, especially if you're playing at a level where you had a job, a high stress job, where you got to be on your stuff the majority of the time. You just got to have it together. You know, you got to be with it. And let's see what Dennis Allen talking about, man. Let's see if what he's talking about.
Excited about the opportunity. Sure, you guys are all going to be wondering who's going to be the quarterback. Spencer Rattler will be the quarterback for this game. We talked a lot as a staff about what we felt like was the best thing for us and give us the best chance to win the game. That was the decision that we made, and we're excited about him getting an opportunity to go in there, and we'll let him go play and see what he can do.
What was the reasoning?
Yeah, I think we just internally, talked a lot about it and felt like, in this particular game that he was going to give us the best chance to win. Both him and Jake both have been practicing extremely hard, preparing to be the starter. It was kind of the conversation that we had at the beginning of the year that, Jake would be the two to start, but there wasn't going to be any it was really basically going to be kind of a week-to-week deal. And we just felt like for this game was going to give us the best opportunity.
What's the difference?
I don't think week-to-week deal on backup quarterbacks is the thing. I mean, usually I think it's political with the backup quarterbacks because we know what time it is. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, Dennis Allen plays games, and it's called a protection matrix. I broke this down before he even started this, and I warned the family members going into the regular season when we were still in the preseason that he was going to do this. Put one in the chat if y'all remember that. Because I often talk about the protection matrix, which is people say, what the hell is that, Q? That sounds like the new Matrix movie. No, it's not the new Matrix movie. What it is Dennis Allen's, who drafted Derek Carr. He forms a bubble of protection around Derek Carr so that Derek Carr is comfortable, meaning that he doesn't have any competition for his job. And he did that when Spencer Rattler took the Who Dat Nation by storm and was starting showing off and doing his thing. He earned the love of the family members and the support from the family members. Dennis Allen seeing that shit and how he was playing and how he outplayed Jake Haener. And then he played political games with the competition because to keep it all the way funky, Spencer Rattler smoked Jake Haener during the preseason to earn the second job behind Derek Carr. Now the protection comes in. Why would a 11-year quarterback care about what a damn rookie talking about? Well, when that same 11-year quarterback started getting a little pressure in his face and start throwing off his back foot interceptions, and people from the stands get disgusted with his style of play, and they start yelling for Spencer Rattler. He didn't want that to happen. So he played political games and made Rattler the third quarterback, even though he beat Haener. That's why I have a problem with Dennis Allen for these people out here. Say, Q, what's up with Dennis Allen? They never think about none of this shit because it's all about football, and they don't even look at these people as people. You can't be nobody's head coach if you out here playing games like that. You're supposed to be a professional coach. And you violating the competition protocols and playing favoritism games to protect another player. He doesn't need your protection. That's why I get upset with these guys, because that's not how a man's supposed to do, or any person's supposed to operate if they're in the professional sports and they trying to win. That's when cracks and fractures started happening when people noticed this, and I wasn't the only one that noticed it on the team that's seen this play out like this. That's what pissed me off. That's how his team was fracturing and cracking last year when players started getting mad because of the losing, and Marshawn and Elvin and all those dudes say, man, this ain't who we are. Of course, DeMario and Tyrann Mathieu, they wouldn't bat at a fly. It was all good. They ain't say a damn thing toward it. But shout out to Marshawn and those other guys that spoke up and said, this is not Saints football. This is not what it's all about. So at the end of the day, he is he's rectifying a wrong that he started, and it is not a surprise that Spencer Rattler should have been this number 2 quarterback of QB2. The surprise to me when I opened the show was that he put his ego down and made the right call, because I didn't think that he would do that. But maybe he's doing it because he understands that if he don't win the next couple of games, he's going to be a fired you-know-what here. You're not going to make it out the next 2 games. You got to drop all that BS, and you got to get some wins. And the Jets already put Robert Saleh already on the street. So there's one that was fired already. Don't think when a coach in the NFL gets fired, the rest of them ain't looking around. The Jets started it first. They got the first QB fire. I mean, the head coach firing of the year. The Jets did it after 5 games. So yeah, this dude on a hot seat. He got the win, and there's no more time. You can't smooge this guy out on this. Win or be fired. That's how it goes. That's where he is. This dude is really close, fam. I'm telling you, 3 straight. If it's 4, and listen, easy matchups like Atlanta has Carolina, they can easily go up 4-2. If they lose to Tampa goes up 4-2. Those are the 2 teams that will have a tiebreaker on you, and the Saints will be sitting at 2-4 on a short week with injuries mounting. 3 games in 10 days. You lost to KC, Tampa's next, and then a short week against Denver. It's getting kind of hectic. And this is what it's made for, and that's what it's about. So this song is dedicated to Dennis Allen.
Choosing one to be the backup and choosing one to start a game.
Yeah. I don't know that there's a distinct, difference there. We just felt like this would be the right time for Spencer to get his opportunity.
And is there anything specific either about the matchup, the state of the pass protection of the offensive line?
I think we'll keep all those things internal in terms of what went into making that decision. But there was a lot of discussion, and we came out of there feeling like this was the best thing to do.
Come on, man. Ain't no internal discussions, bro. Oh man, they just sell shit in there, and most people buy it up for they just sell shit and call it something else. Yeah, this is a brand. This is a rock that fell from the sky. It is a very rare rock. Oh, that's interesting. It looks like a big piece of cow dung. Oh, well, no, it's actually a meteorite that came from Alpha Centaurus. Well, how do you know it came from? Oh, we got the right technology to be able to decipher where it came from in the directory or the trajectory of where it fell from. They just tell you anything. Man, thank the good Lord for the great Saint think tank, man. Because this will be just bullshit, man. Ain't no internal dialogue. The man was he won the job straight out. He was the better of the quarterbacks. You've seen what Jake Haener looked like in the last game. Jake Haener did not deserve that spot. He didn't beat Spencer. People know shit from sugar, and they know shit from what's supposed to be a meteorite from Alpha Centauri. Shout out to Wyo, says Big Q hit the one time getting kind of hectic. Yeah, I just did. One more time for you. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Oh man, shout out to y'all, man. Yeah, y'all make it all good, man. All right, so that's about announcing who will start allows the Sucks the game plan for that player. I think, and regardless of who it was, thank you for your super chat, fam. Let me hit the button for you as well. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate you there, Sadak. This is the thing, man, about Sadat, actually. The reality is, like, we know the Saints are going to have to run the football. And when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to town, the ideology will be to stop the Saints from running and put the pressure on Spencer Rattler to beat them throwing. And usually when you have a rookie quarterback, they're going to pin their ears back and try to go after Spencer. So I'm going to ask the Who Dat Nation to be very patient with Spencer Rattler. Be very patient with him. Be very patient. He's a rookie quarterback. He's got a difficult job now with Derek Carr out. He's coming in here, and it's not going to be easy. Got a team that'll be gunning for him. I know he'll perform and do the best that he can do, but we have to be very patient with Spencer Rattler. I just want to say that to the fan. We have to be patient. He's a rookie. He's going to make some mistakes. It's just what it is. Also, the question becomes too, just to look at it like, let me ask y'all this so I can ask y'all this right now and get it out of the way. And what I'm about to ask you guys, right? What's up, T Mama? Shout out to T Mama. Good to see her in the building. What's up, ma? All right. What's up, Barbara? Shout out to Barbara. I see you, Desi. Shout out to you, TJ. All right, Rico, big up, Slim. Good to see y'all, fam. Chantel, what's happening? Good to see the ladies in the building. Much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all. Let me, like I said, I'm going to ask y'all this, and because y'all remember this now, because I will, I'm known to say, hey, y'all remember this, hit the one. When I do that, I want y'all to all remember what I'm about to ask y'all. Well, actually, this is a statement. I'm going to comment or whatever. Now, I'm going to ask you guys this. I want y'all to remember this. When Derek Carr is healthy enough to play and he comes back, who will be the backup quarterback? Who will be the number 2 quarterback behind him? I want y'all to answer this for me. Answer this question for me. And I'm going to get back to old Possum Puss. But let me ask you, I'm asking y'all a question. Who will be the backup QB2? I'm asking now. I'm asking because this is a starter just for week 6. Obviously, Carr is week to week, but eventually he will return, right? Who will be the second quarterback when Derek Carr comes back? Who will it be? Now, I'm asking y'all this for a reason, and I want y'all to remember this exact time, this exact moment in time, because it will expose a lot about what I was talking about with the protection matrix. Because this is, boy, the Most High is something else, man. That's why they had that old guy made this old saying back in the day where you can make a plan and the Most High makes a plan. And then the statement is, who's the best of planners? Who's the best planner? You can try to set yourself and try to be as devious as you can, and then create a plan or do something that's off code, because that was an off code move. It was off code. Off code means it was, you know what off code mean. It was disrespectful. It was the wrong move to do Spencer Rattler like that, to protect Derek Carr. Because if it's supposed to have made Derek Carr a better quarterback, let him have a little pressure over his shoulder. He make $150 million. And what I'm saying to that, because if Rattler goes now, and when Carr returns, Rattler should be number 2. Now, what he said was, we do it week to week. Who goes week to week looking at who the backup, the QB2 gonna be? They don't do that. Most of the times they hold on to that second spot based on what happens in terms of when you start the season off and they have the starter there, that's the guy. But look I'm asking the family members, who is it going to be? And I'm about to spotlight some of you guys. All right, hold on here. Truth says Q. Have the Saints winning pretty wide this Sunday? 41-16. Okay, well, that's up. That's what's up. All right. Kevin says no, Q. He don't see who he says. Hayner. T Mama says Carr. Hayner says, Rose says Hayner. What's up, dude? Dub, how you doing, fam? Appreciate you. King Chosen says Carr. No. I'm saying backups, QB2. Maybe I should be a little clearer with that. That should be a poll question. Who is going to be the QB2 when Derek Carr returns? And it's like, well, why is that important, Q? Look, Hayner, unfortunately. Big Valley says Jake Hayner. Jake. Chantel says Rattler. You know, and they got a few. He says Taysom. Young City says Jake. Right. Is Jake, says Rick. Jake. Now, why are you guys saying that? Why are you saying Hayner? What's up, Beverly? All right. Brother Wallace says should be the rattlesnake. Jack says should be the best QB. Right. Greg says it's going to be Hayner. Now, for Trap Star 318 says it's going to be Jake. Now, for the family members that's saying that, why are you saying it's going to be Jake Hayner? Answer that for me. Why are you guys saying it's Jake Hayner? The low IQ matrix. No, CB. It's not going to be Michael Vick. No, it's not. No, it's not Cam Newton. No. All right. Pelicans Nola says Jake. Now, why are you guys saying Jake Hayner? Why are you guys saying that? All right. Why are you guys saying it's Jake Hayner? Explain your question, please. No, it's not Matt Mulk. You throwing some old school names up there. You about to run through the whole LSU old QB list. All right. Brother Byron says Q. Easy answer. Rattler's the backup once Carr returns. Okay. For my family members. CB just all over the place, man. All right. Why are you guys saying that? Why are you saying Hayner? Look, Mad Drummer says Hayner. Brother Rose says Archie Manning. No, not Kev. Not Aaron Brooks. No, not Bobby Abear. No. Bobby Abear only wish. Why are you guys saying Hayner? Let's see let me see what you guys are saying. All right. Why are you saying? What's up, Randolph? Shout out to my boy Randolph, man. Christopher says Jake. Joanna says Jake. Now answer the question. Why are you guys saying Jake Hayner? I'm just curious. Just asking for a friend. Greg says politics. Sai says Jake will play next Thursday. Why? Why are you guys saying that? See, the family members are saying that no, Chantel, baby, it's not Deshaun Watson. No. All right. What's up with that? Let me see if I get a good answer from the family members. They all joked off, man. That's his role, said Mad Drama. Oh, so the family members thinking that Rattler is just the fill-in for this game, and then once Derek Carr comes back, Spencer goes back to the emergency quarterback level. Is that what we're talking about here? See, I want to know. Okay, Mott says he answered. I'm sorry, Mont. I didn't see your answer, my brother. I didn't see your answer. It's a lot going on here. It's a lot of screwing. Okay, he says we saying that it's based on the Jameis Winston situation, which is the Jameis Winston situation is, see, Dennis Allen's done this before. It's what the family's alluding to. See, the Great Saint Think Tank are also good on pattern recognition. For those people that just, that don't know what we're talking about, Dennis Allen has a history of doing this. Now, we knew, like, when the whole Jameis Winston situation was something that occurred where what happened with Andy Dalton, he was emotional in his response to handling that. And when Jameis was good, even Jameis spoke about that. He was upset about how the game plan. He said that Dennis Allen lied to him about being a starting quarterback. And I said, when that came out, he went to the press on that and he told the truth. I said, Jameis Winston is not going to see one game. He ain't going to play in one game. And from that point forward, Dennis Allen stuck with Andy Dalton, even when the team offense was stinking. He has a history of doing stupid and silly stuff like this. That's why he's ultimately going to be run out of town, because he can't even check himself. He can't check himself. A guy that's this undisciplined, this ignorant, this foolish, and this backstabby is going to end up firing himself eventually because he's off code. He doesn't even, and many times I think it's just embedded in him because it's a competitive game to be a backstabber to get in some of these positions. And it happens in the business world. It's not indicative of pro football. You guys know wherever you work at, or if you go to school or wherever you go, they got a backstabby social climber there that'll say or do anything to gain position. They don't have any morals. They don't have any respect for themselves as a person. They don't have any respect for their body. They will do any and everything they can to climb to a position for money or whatever. They do it all the time. These are those type of people. And being off code is wrong when the off code stuff happens to them, but it's not off code when they doing it to you. They know the difference between right and wrong, but it's only wrong when the wrong is done to their ass. Did you get that? They know what's right and wrong. Don't let them tell you, oh, we don't know what's right. Yeah, they know because they don't want it to be done to them. You dig it? That's what we're talking about with Dennis Allen. We talk about off code. Off code behavior creates cracks and fractures in your team. It happened last year when people don't like Dennis Allen because of the stuff that he does like this. And you see it. And I didn't like what he did, Spencer Rattler, and then spins it like it was an internal discussion. No, he won the job and he deserved the job. And you're fixing the job because you're going with the quarterback that's more qualified to win this game over Haener, who was not ready, and he did not perform up to the standard that Spencer did. So he's cycling and going back because his goddamn job is on the line. He ain't doing Spencer Rattler no favors. His job is on the line. Look at his face. Does this look like a guy's face that's ready to take on a challenge? Does it sound like a man that's ready to brave some storms? Huh? Does it sound like somebody that's confident and strong and ready to take the bull by the horns and says, listen, man, we're going to do everything we can to win. If I got to go out into free agency and find new players and bring them in here every week until we have a running attack, then that's what I got to do. All of you guys are on notice that this is unacceptable. We're going to turn this shit around today. And I'm going, and is he talking like that? Is he talking like that? Or is he talking more like, well, we just, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. We just, we just gonna have to, we just gonna have to form a block and, we're going to do what we can. Or is he talking like that? Listen to, check, look at him. Is he exhuming any confidence to turn this shit, and that's what it is, around? The man is on a 3-game losing streak right now. I told you, like, well, Q, what the hell would you do to turn the team around? First and foremost, I would every goddamn Monday and Tuesday, I'm bringing new offensive linemen in here. I'm trying to find something to get this right, to fix this. I'm bringing in tryout I'm trying to get these guys to block. I need a running attack. I can't win without a running attack. And I'm putting both my feet, all of that in the ass of my offensive coordinator, because I told you last week that I wanted you to get more guys involved in this offense, and you didn't do that. Well, Q, what about Mason Tipton? Mason Tipton was being used in the previous contest. He wasn't new to the offense. They were using Mason Tipton in the first couple of games. They were throwing at Mason. Mason been out there. Dennis Allen told Clint Kubiak last week that he told the world that he wanted him to get more guys involved. And what did Kubiak do? Just did the same shit he did in the previous game. He just relied heavily on Alvin Kamara, with Jamal Williams having a couple of carries again. Like I said, man, that's what a head coach got to do. And if the guy don't want to listen, we're going to pull you up out of that. We're going to demote you and we're going to give it to Dennison. Let's say, Dennison, let's see what you can do now. Because we don't have time for this. He got to understand he under the gun to make a move and get this team around. You're on a 3-game slide right now. It's a long season, but boy, oh boy, you lose this game. You fall to 2-4, the Falcons and the Bucs, they go to 4-2. That's a gap. And let me tell you something. In a lame duck like year for Dennis Allen, the pressure mounts every loss. It really does. The pressure, everything mounts, because he was already under the gun when he came here. When this year started to win. There ain't no 4th and 5th year for no Dennis Allen. You kidding me? If they allow Dennis Allen to make it this year, you know what you got to do. I don't have to tell y'all what to do. Y'all know exactly what y'all need to do. because that's utterly disrespectful. And if you look at the rest of the league, you can see them firing coaches because they're not living up to what they're doing. Robert Saleh just got his issue with the Jets. He got his issue with the Jets. So what's the Saints' problem? He's under the gun, man. Ain't no saving this guy. He ain't gonna make it through a losing year. He got to turn this around ASAP. Anyway, let's go back to him and listen to and just feel his vibe and his energy. When you're dealing with this, you have to have a certain energy that you gotta go at this team. We got to go at these guys. We can't have these bumblers, because that's, if you look at the offensive line, that's what they were doing. They were, man, that film was horrible. My family members from the Patreon, they seen it. Patreon family members, a YouTube membership. We did a 2.5, wasn't 2.5 hours, fam. Two and a half, either 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like that show where we talked about, we showed all the film, we broke it down, looked at the guys that was stinking. What, how they missing blocks and all this kind of stuff. They slow to the party, dumb. It's guys just letting guys run around them. It's a comedy show. We can't have this. That's what I'm saying, man. It's, bro, you either fight off or just fall on your ass. That's the bottom line. I don't know. Because when we play, man, listen, I'm a competitor. I'm going, if I'm in a football game, and I'm in there and I got guys that's not motivated, we're going to get some of these guys motivated here. We got to get motivated, because the first thing you got to do is match the energy of your opponent. You can't be out here melancholy. We got to get this energy level up. We got to get this stuff going. The Saints got to run the football. If we don't fix the errors, and I know we're dealing with injuries, we don't get McCoy back from weeks from now. But we can't wait till then. If we wait till then, the season's going to be over by the time we get McCoy back. The Saints need to do something. And what they're doing is not enough. We need to get better offensive linemen in here. We got to do it. And ain't no ifs or buts about it. Whatever you got to do it, bro. They have to run the football to give Jake Hainer, to give the Freudian slip, Spencer Rattler an opportunity to be successful against the Bucs. They have to run the football, and the line, the interior offensive line, even Tali Fuaga, Trevor Pennon, those guys didn't look that good either in that game. Our defensive line, our defense was out there for almost 40 minutes, because of the inability of the offense to keep the ball moving, and even much buy time for the defense to rest. 40 minutes out of a 60-minute game, they're going to fall apart. They're not designed to do that. So at the end of the day, he is tasked. This is Dennis Allen's team. He picked these guys. Remember this. Everything is culminating to this point in time with Dennis Allen. He needs to do whatever he can do from a personnel standpoint to get these guys to run the football, because they're not running the football, and we need that. We need the running game to win games, fam. To give our defense an opportunity to rest. We need the running attack. We can't win without it. So anyway, let's go back to this guy and see what he talks.
For this matchup, is that subject to change based on matchup?
As it's been all along, with those two, we're really kind of in a week-to-week deal with each one of those guys. So we're worried about this week right now, and then we'll see where we're at after that.
Which means that when Derek come back, Rattler goes back to emergency QB3. Because we can't have no pressure on Derek Carr. Look how sneaky he look right there. I paused it right there. Look how sneaky he look. Because the thing is, the reporters know. They just can't say. They can't say the shit that I say, man. They can't say it. That's why I say it, because I can say what I want to say. They can't. That's why I'm telling you the truth. The whole situation with Dennis Allen and this whole QB2 and QB3 thing is ridiculous. The man won the job. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Rattler's 2 all the way through. He's the QB2 all the way through. Until Carr gets hurt or there's an injury, he has to step in. He's the QB2 all the way through. He won the job. There is no going back and forth. The only reason why there's a political going back and forth game is because when Derek Carr gets healthy and comes back, the Spencer Rattler piece is over his shoulder and let Carr screw up and throw an interception in the dome and watch how they all calling for Rattler. They don't want him to go through that. That's why he's going to move him to QB3. This dude think he's slick. He ain't slick. What he going to do is slick his ass up out of here. Watch. Trying to be sneaky on some. Look at that face right there. Look at that possum. This dude is unbelievable, man.
Can you update us on Derek's health, where he's at?
Kind of like the whole quarterback situation. It's week to week, really. I mean, he's got an oblique strain, and he won't be playing this week. We'll see where he's at come Thursday, and kind of go from there. But he's really week to week.
What have you seen from Spencer Rattler since the last time we were able to see him on a practice field?
Yeah, look, he goes against us, on the show team every day, and he's got athletic ability. He can throw the ball. He's accurate. He creates some plays on the scout team. So I just think this is a guy that he has a lot of ability, and certainly he's a rookie. So we know that we're going to have some challenges that go along with that. But I think we'll have a good plan for him, and we'll be excited about going out and playing.
Injured reserve a possibility for Carr? Or?
I don't think so.
And for Spencer, just like the reps that he was getting wasn't a lot. Like, was there something in that amount of time? But I know you just touched on it, but
yeah, I just think he's done a good job for us on the show team. Man, he's made some really good plays against our defense. He's made some accurate throws, and his mobility's been good.
What was that moment sort of like when you tell a 24-year-old rookie that he's about to get his first NFL start? What was it like that?
Yeah, well, I think both guys, Spencer obviously excited, Jake disappointed, but both those guys are going to get opportunities as we move forward. So I wish I had something better for you.
I know those guys do some extra work every morning. How beneficial is that then, just for the?
Well, look, I think Jordan Traylor and Janoko, both those guys have done a really good job of working with these young quarterbacks. They spend a lot of time with them. They're out in the, we kind of start practice with a special team session. And so they're out there working during those sessions, going through all the plays, going through the reads, going through the throws. So they've gotten both those guys have got a lot of extra work.
I know you said you don't want to get too much into the details of why you picked one or the other, but with the state of the offensive line right now, was mobility a kind of a key factor? Well,
that's part of it, but there was a lot of factors that go into it. But certainly we feel like he's got some mobility.
Does it?
The whole issue is the reality is it's a tough spot to put Spencer Rattler in, man. To be honest with you, but like I said, I have my concerns about the whole situation. I don't like the fact that the Saints can't run the football effectively, and that usually falls on the shoulders of the quarterback to move the ball. So, and if you're a defense, and like if Tampa Bay had a rookie quarterback and we had, we were good, then you know what you would do. We'd be yelling, man, you better blitz. You better blitz the hell out the guy. They're going to clog up the lanes and force the Saints to throw the ball to beat them. That's what they're going to do. They're going to try to take away the Saints' running attack, make them one-dimensional, and make the rookie quarterback beat them through the air. They're going to show them different looks. They're going to blitz at them heavily. So it's going to be a tough day for Spencer if that happens. So the Saints, knowing that, I just know that's how they're going to do. That's what a commonsensical defensive coordinator would do. He would clog up the running attack, make it difficult for you to run. And then he would say, okay, Rook, beat us. We're going to show you, we're going to disguise some looks. We're going to show you this. We're going to show you that. We're going to blitz you. You know, we're going to do different stuff and make it tough for you because we know you're not used to seeing nothing like this. And like I said, we just have to be very patient with Spencer, man. I just want the Saints to do him right and give him a running attack. And it's a shame for Jake Haener because it's a bit of a Jake Haener is not guilty of anything here except for being outplayed by a better quarterback in Spencer Rattler. Dennis Allen just created this whole deceptive circle. It's just unfortunate for Jake Haener, you know, that he feels like he's the guy. Like he said it in the press conference last week after the Chiefs game, that if he had to start, that he'd be willing to step in there and start, and then this happens. But deep down, Jake Haener, deep down, be honest, you know you did not win that job. Deep down, despite what Dennis Allen's saying, he's just using you as a buffer. Because not too many people are calling for Jake Haener to get in the game. He doesn't have the same following as Spencer Rattler does. And Spencer Rattler came here and his following grew because people seen something in the guy. They seen something in Spencer Rattler. They see the it factor. They see something special about Spencer Rattler. And who that sees it. Some people don't get it, but it's unfortunate for Jake Haener. But deep down inside, you know you didn't win that job. That guy he beat you squarely in that it wasn't even close. Anyway, Greg says, Q, what if Rattler goes 3-0 while Carr is out? What do the Saints do? Then will the Who Dat Nation stand for this? Will TSC tolerate this? I don't even know if he plays 3 games, bro, because they consider Derek Carr's injury as week to week. There was a tweet that Josina Anderson, we covered it on Patreon last night, TSC Patreon for our YouTube membership family, Patreon family. I showed a tweet from Josina Anderson, who basically was saying that Derek Carr's injury was listed as week to week, which means the Saints will evaluate per week. And remember how the Saints usually handle things with Derek Carr is with painkiller. Like he was tore up last year with shoulder and broken ribs, and they shot him up with painkiller to get him in there. So it's a week to week situation. I don't know. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think he'll be out for 3 weeks. I'm just going to be honest with you. But if this scenario does play out that way, Brother Greg, when Derek Carr gets healthy enough, he's coming back in there. You say, well, how is that? Because Derek Carr makes $150 million, and it'll make the Saints look bad if a 5th round draft pick quarterback out of South Carolina beat their 11th year, $150 million quarterback for his job. In many respects, he's won a great deal of the Who Dat Nation support. Just keeping it a buck. They can't get around that when they're saying it's some type of, they call in the Spencer Rattler people some type of call or whatever. I'm like, man, listen, man, whoever's saying that, man, y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about, bro. Y'all must don't, whoever you're getting your goddamn news from, man, stop doing it and follow and listen to some real stuff out here. Listen to the real spill straight off the street. Not that corporate garbage. But this real talk here about Spencer Rattler, he beat the guy for the job, and Dennis Allen was the guy that used Haener as a buffer because of the popularity that Spencer Rattler represented. He did not want that to be behind Carr, as Carr is QB1. Why? Because some quarterback, and remember, Dennis Allen is not just some coach to Derek Carr. He drafted this guy, brung him in the league with the Raiders, and brung him from the Raiders to here. So he hitched this wagon to this man. So he has everything to lose as far as Derek Carr is concerned. So of course he's in his mind, he's going to do the job to protect him. That's why he buffered lies Jake Haener and that's why I was upset about it. That's why I'm mad like this, because that's wrong to do that. Then gets up here and talk about him and what he did on the scout team. Man, get your goofy ass out of here with that. That's goofy talk. This man talk. This is a goofy dude over here, man. All right, big ups to brother Judah. Front office, yeah, front office. You get the nerve of this guy. It's a front office decision. What front office? If you believe that, I got a bridge in San Francisco to sell you. It's got like a reddish color. I got 2 of them to sell you that look like twins. One's a little longer, one a little thicker than the other one, over the Mississippi River down in New Orleans. And I got another one a little further south, or actually a little further west, that was named after a former governor of the state of Louisiana that got a railroad that go over the bridge. We just kind of built on it. I got that when you buy it. The 2 in New Orleans, the 1 in San Francisco, and I'll throw that one in for free. If you believe the front office had anything to do with this decision, it wasn't the case. Why? Because the front office does not dictate to head coaches in New Orleans what to do with personnel. That's something Mickey Loomis does not do. That's not his style. Mickey Loomis will close his door and let you run this team in the ground, and then he'll come out and say, well, oh, I know, Dennis. And then he said what he said last year when he was, his eyes bucking out of his head, his face was flushed and chewing that gum. Remember that? Oh, well, Chuck, no. I mean, Bill Walsh, Bill Parcells. I started naming all the Bill Belichick. What? That's what he does. His coaching, his style is not to go in there and micromanage you. That's something Mickey Loomis doesn't do, because Mickey Loomis has 2 jobs. He's a VP, which he has VP jobs, a job he got to do as a vice president, and he's a general manager. And to many respects, Mickey Loomis has hired several general managers, one of which the former general manager of the Raiders is here working for the Saints in some type of capacity. And a lot of his general manager duties are handled by Kai Hartley, and they're kind of contracted out to the rest of these guys. You ask the question, ask Mickey Loomis who's doing the in-season evaluations. I guarantee it's one of those other guys. Somebody got to do it. And he has VP and GM job. That's why I've been the advocate for him to get up off of that. He can keep the VP, let somebody else do the general manager job. That's what I've been saying. But anyway, it's not a front, because that's not their style. Pattern recognition, remember, that's not their style. They don't do that. These are decisions that he's trying to put on the front office that he's making. Once again, this is flim flam. This is a goofy dude here. It's a goofy ass dude right here, man. I'm just keeping it real, man. If you make a mistake and see it don't do you no good, you can look at his face and see he lying. This is the face of a lying possum here, fam. I hate to lambaste somebody or call them, you know what I'm saying? But this is a face. If you ever seen a sneaky possum, if you, for my country folks, they got a sneaky possum sneaking around your property or whatever, you know, and he peeking out of bush. You look over there and say, what the hell is that sneaky possum doing back over there, man? What is he doing back there? You got to go go see what he doing back there. Go around there and run that sneaky ass possum off your property, man. Get his ass up out of here, man. Run him the hell off. But it's crazy, man. At the end of the day, man, it doesn't make any sense, you know, for this to happen. And that's why the Saints are in this boat. That's why they're in this type of situation. You know, we're in this decision because of the money crunch the Saints are currently under because of Mickey Loomis. I didn't do it. Neither did you. The decision makings, the bad money decisions the Saints made, the poor drafting situations that's going on in terms of what's happening. The A.T. Perry thing was the most recent thing. Who gets rid of a promising player like A.T. Perry with a lie that he was hurt? If he's hurt, people I like thinking. That's why I say put your thinking caps on. This stuff's not hard to figure out. If you don't just take everything they say, you know when they're telling the truth and when they're not telling the truth. You don't take A.T. Perry and it's like, well, Q was the 6th round draft pick. That's not the point. The Saints took 7-round draft picks, 6th-round picks, 5th-round picks, 4th-round picks, 3rd-round picks, and turned them into stars. Not stars. Yeah, some stars, some contributors became starters. You got a guy in the 2nd year. They saying that he was hurt. Which, okay, he is hurt with hamstring issues. But I also remember there was times when A.T. Perry was available and the Saints healthy scratched him. He was available. So why didn't you use him when he was available? Well, you see, it didn't make any sense. And then if you have an injured player, I are the player to free the spot. So we cut the injured player. And then a reporter asked him, it was Triplett asked him, Triplett knows this, man. So does Nick Underhill. He knows. That man know. They know it was some BS. They just can't say it. So they ask the questions. I listened to him. They asked the questions like, okay, listen to it when he was Dennis Allen was trying to explain. And he says, yeah, well, he was hurt and we needed the spot. And why didn't you, in my mind, I'm like, okay, if the guy's hurt, he qualifies for the injury report, just on the injury list, just put him on IR. That'll automatically free the spot so you can go get Baron McGovern with that mustache. Go ahead on and, that takes care of it. No, we're going to cut him and then we'll pick him up if he clears waivers. And Mike, who was it? Mike Triplett asked him, okay, so when he clears waivers, you're going to add him to the injury list? Dennis Allen says, no, to the practice squad. And he said, I did this. That's what I did. You know why I did that? Because who takes an injured player and put him on the practice squad? See? And then lo and behold, guess what happens? Sean flipping Payton claims A.T. Perry. Now you come on, not out of all the teams in the world, come on now. How does that work? I would say there's something wrong with that. That didn't make any sense to me, but now it does. I say, just time will tell everything, man. That none of that made it. That was a crock of shit if I ever heard. And he got a lot of crocks he cooks. But thank you, Jude. Appreciate you, man. Listen, it's not front office decisions that is impacting the Spencer Rattler thing. And I'm going to prove it to you right now with common logic. Great Saint Think Tank. We love our logic. We love our stuff. If it was a front office decision that made Spencer Rattler would make him to be the call, as Dennis Allen alluded to, then where was that same front office when Spencer won the job and Dennis buried him as an emergency quarterback when we knew Spencer won the job? It wasn't Jake Haener. What was the front office then when that happened? What was the front office then? They wasn't paying attention then, but they paying attention now? No, dude. These liars, man. Just tell the truth. Live with the truth. Old possum face one. Live with the truth. Live with the truth. Old sneaky possum one. Live with the truth. Don't live with a lie. There's nothing worse than a disagreeable lie-telling possum. That's just the worst. We can't have that. That's terrible.
What did you make of the way he was able to play with so many different offensive lines in college, and do you think that could translate to the league?
I mean, it'd be hard for me to say. I mean, look, he's been through a lot. He's been tested in the fire, and he's come out on the other end. We're excited about him. We're looking forward to watching him play, and it's going to be incumbent upon us as coaches to put him in the best position to be successful.
Just because it's basically his first NFL snap in a regular season game, is it different than when Derek is starting in terms of the expectation of we might need to make a mid-game change based on, because you've never really seen him do one, or how long of a leash do you give a guy who's going to play? Give a philosophy?
Well, look, I think you got to let the guy go in there and play. You know what I mean? I mean, we're not going into this game saying, you make a mistake and we're going to pull you. I mean, he's going in to play. He's going to start. He's going to lead the team. And I think we go from there.
Should it be needed? Who would be the emergency QB? Like, I know Alvin is trained in that.
Yeah, I think we're still going through those discussions.
Could y'all possibly look to add another veteran?
We could, but I don't know that that's something that we're planning on doing right now.
Have you ever started a rookie quarterback?
Derek Carr. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, is there anything that goes into a young guy like this? I mean, do you have any more conversations with him than you would with Derek about?
Yeah, I think here's the biggest thing, you don't want to go into this thing like it's this major ordeal. He's next man up, get an opportunity to go in and go play and have fun, do what you've been trained to do. I think sometimes you can make too big a deal of it and create more of an issue than you really need to. So, we'll go through the things that he needs to know. We'll get him prepared. And then we'll let him go out there and play.
Well, you say that you're going to get him prepared for what he needs to do. How much are you guys going to change the scheme around maybe his capabilities or limit?
Yeah, look, I think you're always kind of looking to see what your guys can do, what they can do well, and try to put them in the best position to be, successful. I think it's challenging to say you're just going to totally run a whole new offense. We're going to put some plays in that we feel like he's, able to run, and we feel very confident in his ability.
He's in the scout team, doesn't he want a whole new offense every week in practice anyway?
It's different. It's on a card, the reads aren't necessarily a lot different.
Is he more of a Jalen Hurts type or a Pat Mahomes type or a Dak type?
He's a Spencer Rattler type.
How do you think he'll handle like the complexities of what tackles?
Yeah, I think he'll handle it well. I mean, I think it's going to be difficult. Todd's always done a really good job with the defense there. A lot of exotic, blitzes and pressures and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll get our fair share of those. And so, we just got to prepare him for the looks that he might see, and then we got to, count on his instincts to make some plays at times.
Was there, like, if we had asked you a week ago, did you kind of always have an idea in the back of your mind, Spencer would be the guy if Derek went down, or did it change recently?
I think, early on, there was really not a lot of complex decisions and complex conversations that we had to make. We knew that if and when, Derek ever had to miss some time, then we'd have to make some decisions, So I think in that regard, it's always kind of been in the back of our mind, but yet there was no decision made until we got in here and really started talking about it.
Is Derek Carr going to be the starter when he comes back? I mean, is there a chance that?
Yeah, Derek Carr is going to be the starter. Yeah.
What are some of the things Tampa's doing well this year? Some stuff that stands out.
Well, look, I mean, obviously, defensively, like I said, they got some good, pressure packages, and they can create some tough looks for the offense. Offensively, I think they're operating at a really high level. I think the quarterback's playing really well. He's able to create, make some plays with his feet, both running for first downs and being able to, find open receivers. He's kind of tough to tackle in the pocket. He's pretty slippery back there. I think they're doing really well in that regard. And I just think they've been consistent with what they're doing, offensively. Schematically, there's some similarities to, a couple of the teams that we've already faced. Maybe a little bit different in some of the things they're doing in the run game. But from a passing game standpoint, some similarities. I think they got some really good players. I think both the backs are good players, elusive in space. The Bucky Irving kid brings a different dynamic to their offense that maybe I don't think they've had in the last couple of years. Certainly they've got, Godwin and Mike Evans, and Shepard's come in and made some plays for him. So sounded like McMillan was maybe limited in practice today, I think. So there's a chance we might see him too. So he's a good young receiver. And look, the tight ends, Cade Otton does a really good job. I mean, he catches everything they throw to him and just seems to be a guy that gains yards every time he gets the ball. So I think offensively they've been really good.
Thinking about where Spencer was in the spring and the improvement he showed over the summer. Just what did you make of the way that he learns, and does he improve quickly in your mind? Like, how would you evaluate that aspect of?
Yeah, look, I think he's a pretty quick learner. I thought as he went along, I thought it got better, every single day. And when he had opportunities in games, I thought he went out and produced and played well, so hopefully that'll continue in regular season games.
How can Derek help Spencer?
I think just be a sounding board for him, help him with the process, help him with the learning part of it, be some eyes on the sideline for him. I think those are the ways that veteran quarterbacks can help a young guy.
How is Derek doing mentally with the injury?
Well, look, overall, I think he's doing okay, and yet I think he's disappointed that he can't be out here. He's a guy that hasn't missed a lot of time, doesn't like to miss a lot of time. So I think he's frustrated with that part.
Do you have any update on Bo Harris?
Well, he's got a hamstring injury. I think he's a candidate for injured reserve.
Have y'all, I guess, taken a look or done any research, lack of a better term, about all of the injuries this year, and if there's any correlation between?
Yeah, I think we're in the process of gathering, some information, on that, and I do think that's an area that we've got to look to try to improve in, because certainly we've had, our fair share of injuries, and so I think we'd be crazy not to look into trying to figure out the reasons why, and see if we can't solve some of those issues.
Am I correct that you guys were pretty happy with the soft tissue percentages, numbers?
Now go on, you take care of the cake. You possum puss, get that punch out there, you'll get one from me. Go on.
All right. I think that's just about enough. We kind of got through about almost 13 and a half minutes of a 15-minute interview, and I think we just got the gist of it. The reality is Spencer Rattler is going to be the guy, and I am enthused by that. I just also realized that when having Spencer as the quarterback, we got to give him a running attack. So, knowing what most coaches and teams are going to try to do with a rookie quarterback, his versatility in terms of him being able to scramble around in the pocket is going to be, he'll make it's going to make for an exciting game for the Saints to do that. I think he makes good decisions with the ball, but also, believe it or not, my biggest concern is not Spencer at QB for the Saints. I think he'll do okay, being that he's a rookie. I don't expect him to go in there and blow it up, and that would be cool if he does. But my biggest concern for the Saints, offensively speaking, is the offensive line, his protection. And then also being able to run the ball. Now they did a fairly decent job last week in keeping Derek Carr, upright. The issue with the Saints last week was their inability to get the running attack going. It just wasn't hitting for nothing. Of course, they had Chris Jones they were dealing with and stuff like that. But even when they would go outside, it just didn't. I don't know. So the challenge is for Clint Kubiak this week is to try to get maybe his offense going. And then the thing is, that's why I'm saying because Clint Kubiak is a different offensive coordinator when he has access, when Taysom Hill is involved in the game. He's a different coordinator, period. But boy, oh boy, like a lot of the pre-snap stuff that we seen going on, like if you watch the Kansas City game, a lot of what Kansas City, the plays they were running was what plays similar to what the Saints was running in weeks 1 and weeks 2. We went totally away from that. And I'm like, dude, it was, and I mentioned it in the show, the Patreon. I was like, man, it's almost like somebody came and took Clint Kubiak and replaced him with a slower, less intelligent C- student version of Clint Kubiak, because his offense looks vanilla, is forced. Like if you study the film, and we did it for weeks 1 and 2 versus the other weeks, the offense had an organic flow to it. It was beautiful in both those games, which means it wasn't a mistake. Like you do it one time, well, the Saints just struck, they hit on something. and they weren't able to reproduce it. The Saints did the same thing in both those games. That's how I know it's there. It wasn't a mistake. They actually it was flowing organically. Everybody was involved. And then the third week came and then it just went to hell. He stopped calling certain plays because of injury or whatever the case may have been. His play calling and what the Saints were doing, it completely changed. And it looks very vanilla. And it looks at times, very boring and dull. And it doesn't prevent or force the defense to even second guess what they was doing. And you look at what Kansas City was doing was similar. Some of the plays were the same plays. And other plays were similar plays where they would get those speedy wide receivers going on the end arounds, where they would tack around to the sideline using the speedy wide receivers, their speed to get there. And we seen KC do it and have success. The Saints don't even do it. They just spend a lot of time trying to force feed the ball to Rashid Shaheed. We just going to force feed Rashid Shaheed. And then, of course, you heard yesterday, the reporter, I think it was Kat asked Dennis Allen about Chris Olave's brother making a comment. Y'all probably heard that about the comment he was making about Chris Olave, yada, yada, yada. And that's what they were doing. The offense was trying to force feed Rashid Shaheed. Chris Olave's the guy. We know Rashid Shaheed is a good young wide receiver, but man, the best wide receiver on the Saints is Chris Olave. He's the guy. So I don't know what, like I said, I don't know if they can get that back. I don't know what could be, but it's all Kubiak. Kubiak, he when Taysom Hill, and I keep saying the same thing, and the tape bears that term, makes it truthful. When Taysom's away, Clint Kubiak can't call a play. It's so true. Boy, when he got Taysom Hill out there, he a different person. But when Taysom's not there, my goodness. You can't get these guys. I think it was how many times we seen the fullback? Like 3 times in a game. The first 2 games, you seen Prentice out there a lot, blocking for Elvin Kamara. Now it's naked stuff where Elvin's back there running, no fullback support. No. And it's just all vanilla. And it's not complicated. This is not a complicated scheme that he's running. Injuries or not, you still have to stick to your identity. You still have to do what you known to do to keep teams guessing. We're not doing that. So and Dennis Allen noticed it. Credit to him noticing it. He noticed it 2 weeks late, but at least he did. And told Kubiak, we got to get other guys involved. And I kept saying, where's Jordan Mims at? Why we can't get a ball to Williams more? He's averaging 4.5 yards. Why can't we give him the ball more? Especially later on in the game. And I keep saying the same thing. Like if you got a north-south thumper back, and you having issues running up the middle, they can't open up lines. There's ways you can run the football if you can't run it directly up the center of your offensive line. There's other ways you can move the ball. You got to get creative with it. You have those stretch run plays. You have it's a ton of plays. And like something I noticed that really works for other teams against our defense is, they use the dive plays or they'll use the delayed draw plays. That works really well. They'll hit the Saints with 4 or 5 wide receiver sets, spread the defense out. They'll go into a shotgun like they're about to throw it. And then the running backs to the right or left of the quarterback, like he's back there to block. And then the guy just give him the ball and he takes off on the delayed draw. That works on the Saints. Maybe we can use that. We can use Elvin as a decoy, put Jordan Mims in there. Remember him? Jordan Mims, number 33. He plays for the Saints. He's on the active roster. He's never deactivated, but he seems he can't get anything, can't get on the field. And this is a guy that Clint Kubiak was ranting and raving about during preseason, but he can't get a snap. I don't get it. You got Jamal Williams out there. This guy was 2 years ago, he was a 17 touchdown rushing. We forget that. But it was really the near future. 2 years ago, Jamal Williams ran for 17 rushing touchdowns and led the NFL. That's the same dude we got, by the way. Can't seem to get him involved. I don't know. That's what's really daunting. So my question and challenge to Clint Kubiak is, once again, and I'm going to keep issuing a challenge, is it's the biggest chance, a gamble that he has, and he appears to be quite stubborn. And I really don't like that type of stupid stubbornness. Like it don't have a place, because you have to adapt and adjust to what we got going on. And at sometimes we got to be able to run the football. Injuries or not, fam, that don't go away. You got to learn. You got to run it. If you can't run it inside, you're gonna have to be creative and run it outside. You got to do something. You got to run the ball to balance the offense. You know, you have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So there we go. All right. So anyway, with that being said, fam, listen, I appreciate y'all for being in the stream. Let me get a few questions before I dirk on up out of here, man, for about 5 more minutes. Please feel free to hit it. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate you. Salute to your brother Travis. I see you, fam. Brother Dedrick, shout out to you. Says, Greek, what happened to the power formation, the power I formation? I know we don't have Taysom, but we have Prentice. Prentice he was looking good. It's not the same energy. And I'm saying from Clint Kubiak, looking at the all 22 multiple times on each one of these games, it's like at this point, if you watching tape, fam, you know what you're looking at. And I'm saying in terms of the Saints offense, because we've had 5 weeks of this. And if you're watching these games over and over again, you can basically identify from game to game what the Saints are doing, if something's new or not. You know, you can say, okay, that's a new wrinkle. At this point, you're recognizing wrinkles if there are wrinkles. You know, and a lot of times what I'm seeing on tape from the Saints and their inability to get the running attack going is the offensive line is not getting to that next level. Like they get guys, they'll block guys. Some of them don't even stick to guys. Like you'll double team a defensive lineman. If you're offensive lineman, you'll double team a guy and then get him blocked and then slide off of him or shed off of him and then go get the linebacker at the next level. They don't even do that. A lot of the tape you watch, they're not even after they get a block and they slide off of the blocker. You know, they help block another guy, slide off him to the next level. Many of them ain't even doing that. Like there was a play where Lucas Patrick was in there. The linebacker number 32 was standing right in front of him, and he stood up like a big dumb bear, stood there in a blocking pose, and literally let the linebacker run right. He looked right at the guy. And then literally let him run around and go at the quarterback. And I'm like, where they do that at? Where they do that at? He looked at the guy. When he snapped, the first guy he looked at and didn't let him run right past him. He didn't block nobody. So, I mean, that has to, if I see it, John Benton got to be looking at the tape, shaking his head, man. Like, dude, what you did, what are you looking at right there? Explain to me, what are you looking at? Well, I thought somebody else had the guy. Well, who's going to get him, bro? He's standing in front of you. Well, coach, I fucked up. Well, you can't do that. Stop doing it. So until we get through that, and listen, some of that is going to happen. We know that because a lot of these guys haven't played, and it's a drop off from the starters to the backups. But regardless or not, the Saints, it's Clint Kubiak's job to figure out a way to run the ball to balance his attack. If he can't do that, then it's going to be difficult, because that's what Tampa Bay going to do. Tampa Bay is going to try to one-dimensionalize the Saints by stopping them from running the ball and forcing Spencer Rattler to beat them while blitzing the hell out of them. Disguising looks, giving them different looks, and all this kind of stuff. So it's not going to be an easy day at all for Spencer. But that's why I was saying we need him to have at least a running attack. All right. Let me get a few more questions here, fam. We're gonna get the hell on out of here. Are they tying Kubiak's hands? I don't know who's tying his hands. And fam, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the front office told Dennis Allen to put Spencer Rattler in it. I'm not buying that, man. Who told him that? There is no front office that's going to speak up and tell Dennis Allen to do anything. They don't do that at all. Where they do that at? They've never done that. They never done. That would be Tom Benson. Tom Benson was the last person from the front office that would go down there and say, hey, man. Matter of fact, Tom Benson used to call Sean Payton up to his office and question him. Well, why did you do this? Why did you do that? There was old interviews with Sean Payton telling people that. He used to call Benson, used to call him up to the office and question his game plan. So he was always doing the best job as he could do to make the right calls because he knew Tom Benson knew what he was looking at. He knew football and would call Sean, why did you call such and such play? And Sean Payton didn't talk all that shit. He didn't get wordy and get a balloon head until Tom Benson closed his eyes and transitioned to the afterlife. And then the team was in the hands of his wife, who is an ambassador. She don't know a lot about the football game like that. So she heavily relies on the guys that Tom Benson left her. And she trusts and believes in these guys, and she does not meddle in their business unless it gets really bad. That's like it happened with the Anthony Davis situation. She meddled in that because it got really bad, and she came down and then did something and fired Dale Demps. It took a lot to get him out of here. But when that Anthony Davis thing happened, that what he did and all that kind of stuff, that put a black eye, and she came down there and made some moves. But this is not Mickey Loomis would be the guy. They rely on Mickey Loomis to make these calls, and Mickey Loomis' MO is never to go and tell Dennis Allen what to do with his personnel. He leaves them alone. So I'm not buying this whole thing about them saying, "Hey, Dennis, you got to make a QB quick snap or change here. We want Spencer Rattler." What? Where was that shit at? Like I said, in week number 1, when he was playing games with the QB, if they were so concerned. Oh no, hold on, Dennis, you can't do that. That's Spencer. We like Spencer. They're selling a lot of Spencer Rattler jerseys. Let's say that's supposed to be Spencer. Let's make him. They were absent when that happened, but all of a sudden they're there when this happens. Nah, I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying it. That's not their MO. They don't do that. They don't do that shit. The front office don't even get involved in Dennis Allen's decisions, because if they did, this team would be a lot better. If that was the case, are we serious here? Man, the front office would be this team would be a lot better if they did, because they would challenge a lot of the moves that he did when everything was falling apart last year with the team and the cracked and fractured locker room and the falls out with Jameis Winston and all this kind of stuff. Where were they then? Man, the people don't get involved until money start being lost. That's why I be telling people, don't go down there. Don't buy the junk and all of the crap. Don't buy it from them. That's when they make changes, when you take the financial support away, because that's what they worship. That's what they believe in. If you pull the money, they let you, oh shit, they said, oh my goodness, because you control it all. That's what I was saying. You be disciplined enough and pull that money back, man, these people will do whatever you want them to do, because you giving them everything. Just withdraw. And I said this about the Saints, about the political parties. Shit, if they ain't listen, pull your support back. Go give it to somebody else. And you take them to the red and the blue game out of here. Just pull it away, go somewhere else. But they use all this other garbage and all this bullshit to trick you to go and do this. We're not falling for that. That's what I was saying about the Saints, man. I study these people and I'm big on pattern recognition. I don't believe that Mickey Loomis gonna go and say, hey, well, hold on, Dennis, a word with you, please. Can you come to my office? Yeah, Mickey, what's going on? Well, listen here, guy. Right now, let me tell you, I got a call. And I was in the store the other day too. I was at Rouse's and I was buying me some eggs, and I was looking for some clam chowder. They was all out. So I ordered me some gourmet orange juice, and listen, one guy said, hey, Mickey, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, what you mean? I'm buying clam chowder. He says, not that, man. I'm talking about with the Saints. What's going on with the Saints? Well, hold on now. All I could say is, we got Dennis Allen here, and remember, I told the guy what I told him last year. I said, hey, look, man, look here, slow your roll, bro. Listen, let me tell you, I like Dennis Allen, Sean Payton, Bill Belichick. And I started going on my list, right? And the guy wasn't having it. He was like, man, I don't want to hear that. They're mad. Long story short, they're mad, and I listen, I don't get all involved in your junk. I think that's the cool thing to say nowadays. Do they say that now? No, they don't say that. Well, listen, this is no cap. This is not any cap. They're saying that, right? I think you use that right, Mickey. Oh, good. Listen, bottom line is, I want you to play Spencer Rattler against the Buccaneers. Well, what you mean play him, Mickey? What's going on? Why am I playing Spencer Rattler? What's going? We're gonna go with Jake Haener. Oh no, you're not. I forbid you to do that. Well, why, Mickey? What's going on? Well, listen, goddammit, I don't have to explain myself. I'm the boss, and you're gonna do whatever I tell you to do. Now, does that sound right? Does that sound right to anybody out there? Does that sound right to anybody out there? Mickey Loomis is pulling Dennis Allen's whole card and telling him, hey, hold on now, I'm the big guy here. And you're going to do what I say or your ass is grass. And that's not Mickey Loomis. That is not Mickey Loomis. That's why I'm not buying that, man. I'm not buying that shit. You're going to do what I tell you or your ass is grass, mister. You hear me? I'm bucking eyes and every damn thing at you. I'm looking right at you, Bucky. I'm going to tell you something. Now, listen, don't get me upset. God damn it. I said he's going to start. We're going to put the Rattler in there. God damn it. That's not what's going to happen. We know that's not Mickey Loomis. He's not going to tell Dennis Allen that. He's not. That's why I'm not buying it. I am not buying that, man. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, because none of that's going to happen. That's just not going to happen. But anyways, the good news is that Spencer Rattler is going to start for the Saints. It'll be an interesting experience to watch him play, and hopefully we get a win, because we got to beat the Buccaneers, fam. Listen, this is not just a regular game, but this is a very important game, fam. Now, shout out to Jeff Novak. He had a tweet, and I talked about this on the show the other day. Put one in the chat if y'all remember. Y'all seen that tweet from Jeff Novak. That I think I'm saying his name right. I'm sorry, man, if I mess your name up, man. Today I've been messing people's names up right and left, man. But his tweet he put out was he had a decade-long list of wins and losses, and he was showing that what happens to the Saints team over the last 10 years if they lose 3 games in a season. Y'all seen that? Dr. Drew said they seen it. L-Dub says they seen it. And on that tweet he put out there, he showed that every time the New Orleans Saints had a 3-game losing streak, they didn't make the playoffs over the last decade. And I was like, damn, that's very interesting. Every time they had a 3-game losing streak in the season, the list showed that year ended with a non-playoff year. Every time. So I'm not saying that happens this year. It's just an interesting stat to talk about, But in terms of wins, the Saints have to win this Tampa Bay game. This is a must-win game. Because if they lose the matchup, Tampa Bay goes to 4-2. Atlanta will beat Carolina. No disrespect to my dog Dave and Shad and them, but Atlanta's going to beat Carolina. They're going to beat them. Chicago waxed Carolina last week. I don't know what's going on with Carolina. They're just not playing really well. I don't know what's going on. They're just not a good team right now. But I expect Atlanta to beat the Carolina Panthers. They'll be 4-2. They got the tiebreaker. If Tampa Bay beats the Saints, they go to 4-2, and the Saints drop to 2-4 on the short week with Sean Payton coming in here. That's not a good spot to be at week 6. Now, it's a long season, but listen, that don't mean, fam, listen. They got to turn it around. They got to win. They can't allow the NFC South rivals to gain tiebreakers on them. You can't lose to Tampa Bay and Atlanta. You got to win. You got to stop. You got to stop the bleeding. You got to, whatever you got to do, You got to beat Tampa Bay. You got to beat them. And I know they're going to be supremely motivated because of the hurricane and doing it for their city. I totally get it. But the Saints have to beat the Buccaneers to stop the bleeding, man. A 4-game losing streak on a short week with Tampa Bay and injuries mounting, it doesn't look good. But every loss is huge pressure on the shoulders of Dennis Allen. And you can look at him and see that he's definitely feeling the pressure. He definitely feeling the pressure, man. And it's like, I was looking at the interview yesterday that he did, and I was looking at his face, and I'm like, man, listen, you got to have to come out and motivate these guys. Your job's on the line. I know Mickey Loomis might be saying behind the scenes, hey, man, well, hold on, guy, listen. Hey, Dennis. Listen, don't listen to that guy, Big Q guy. Let me tell you something. Listen, I got your back. Don't listen to that. The great think tank. Don't listen to those guys. They don't know what they're talking about. Listen, baby. You're my head coach. You know, I tell you. No, don't listen to that guy. Don't listen to Mickey Loomis. That's crazy, because when the Saints family members get pissed off, all that changes. You're not going to keep a coach over making money. That's not going to happen. And Gail Benson will say, hold on, something looking funny with my bank account right here. What's going on here? Well, they're just hating on Dennis. That's all they're doing. Well, what is that? Then that 3 straight years of 9 playoff years with Dennis Allen. Well, you gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet, babe. You know what I'm saying, Gail? You gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet. I'm telling you something. And she's like, "What you said, Mickey?" Oh, I mean, Miss Benson. Oh, you better get that together, Mickey. Yeah, babe. He turns into Sammy Davis Jr. almost. Yeah, babe. You gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet. Yeah, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you're gonna get cracked over. Y'all gonna get cracked. Yeah, babe. You gotta crack a few eggs. You gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet. No. We gotta get it turned around, man. That's the bottom line, man. We gotta turn this stuff around, man. We got to turn it all around, man. We got to turn it around big time, fam. So yeah, the injuries are mounting. The Saints got offensive line issues. They can't run the ball. The offensive coordinator has gone bland. Somebody need to call the people, because I think we had an alien abduction. Clint Kubiak has been abducted and replaced with a C version of himself. Whoever that guy was in weeks 1 and week 2, we don't have the same guy now. Whatever he was trying to do, it just doesn't. It looks radically different. The pre-snap stuff is not there. It's less intelligent. It's forced. And it just doesn't. I know injuries are a part, but regardless or not, that's why you make all of this money. You still have to bear results to the best of your ability or get canned. So anyway, man, that'll be enough on that, man. I'm about to get on up out of here, man. Listen, I appreciate all y'all for being in the stream, man. It's all good, man. Listen, man, we got to get this dub. Hold on, let me hit this poll question in the chat, man. Shout out to y'all, man. I got a question in the poll. Hold on, I got a super chat. I'm sorry, fam. All right, hold on. Thank you, Mad Drummer, for your super sticker, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Get fucked too kind. All right, Head Trauma says, do you think Dennis Allen's personnel decision affects how players perform? Well, it did last year. Remember when we was talking about it, Mickey Loomis was saying, well, there is no fractured locker room. What are you talking about? There is no fracture? And Dennis Allen was saying the same things. When it was a fracture in the locker room, and then what it turns out, it was a fractured locker room. Alvin Kamara, Marshawn Lattimore, and others were upset about all the losing that was going on. The fact that players wasn't getting chastised or coached up right. Guys were false starting in practice. None of this is new. Alvin said all of this. And I think that was one of the main issues why Alvin didn't get his money. And he alluded and said it in the press conference, and I played it here. And I also told you they edited out on their site, which that's why we record them and play them here, because we keeps it all. Where he said that they wanted me to do something that I didn't want to do. And I think that was one of the issues why they had a problem with paying him his bread. And he even alluded to that. The reporters went in a different direction because they knew where he was going. What the question is, well, maybe it was on some Demario Davis. No. Demario Davis does whatever they tell him to do. When shit was stinking, Demario Davis and Tyrann Mathieu wasn't calling any team meetings. Nobody was calling team meetings. They wasn't calling no team meetings. The idea is to win. It ain't about just collecting a check. It's about winning. We want to see winning. We're not paying you to lose. And if you lose in games, we don't expect you to win every game, but effort means something to people. They want to see you perform. They want to see you lay it out and do what you're supposed to do. We know you're not going to win every game, but and the full effort is warranted. That's wanted. If another team beats you because they was just better, that's one thing. But if you're losing games because you're making mistakes, you're turning the ball over, you're missing tackles, you're throwing interceptions, you're missing blocks, that's something that's schematic, that's on the coach level that could be fixed. That's a part of it. That lies on a portion on an unprepared team, because only unprepared, dysfunctional teams do all those things at a large volume that ultimately leads to losses. We can all say here that the last two, and maybe not the last two games, but the two games we lost to the birdie teams and Eagles and the Falcons was because of the Saints' inability to do anything correct in moments of the game, low IQ moments and not completing the game, stuff like that. It's just a part of the game, man. Right? All right. So anyway, thank you, Head Trauma. Appreciate you for that. Thank you. Fuck too kind. And shout out to the fam, man. Y'all hit the like button for me. The poll in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody, man. We got 380 plus people that voted on the poll tonight. If y'all want to hit that poll up, man, hit the hell out that poll. Let me know what you think. In the sense, who do you think gets the victory in week 6, Saints or Bucs? Good to see out of the 380 plus people voted, 73% of the family members says Saints gonna beat the Bucs. 27% says Bucs. So 73% versus 27% says overwhelmingly we got it. And that's good, man, because we need it, man. We definitely we got to win, man. We got to win. We need to get this victory. Going 0-4 is not a good look. It really isn't, man. It really isn't. And I know Dennis, listen, man, this dude's really getting close. You're getting close. Because like I said, the Jets got rid of their guy. And you're looking at the Saints 3 years in. This is the third year. They'll, 4-game losing streak. That's not good, man. We got to turn this around. We got to do better. All right, Eli, shout out to Eli, man. Says, come on, Who Dat Nation, beat Tampa for us, get them off our necks, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind to see y'all fall even more. Hey, man, we'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back, man. We're not cooked yet. We're not cooked yet. It's a lot of football left to be played, and we're not cooked yet. We're not cooked yet. We're not cooked yet. All right, so anyway, we're going to get ready to do that, man. I don't know, Kev. Kev says, you got to do them, Jim, Kev. I thought the Saints hired you to do the in-season valuations. That's your responsibility there, Kev. That's on you if they don't get done. Richard says, also positive locker room talk is quoted big time. They need a big me-up, and beating the 3-time repeat South Camp will help. It will, bro. I was looking forward to them beating the Chiefs. And like I was saying, people's like, man, Q, they ain't going to beat the Chiefs. I'm like, fam, it's not prime. It's not the prime midseason Chiefs. As you can see, they left a lot of plays on the field. We covered the film. Was like with Pat Mahomes boys, he was missing on throws. He missed a touchdown. He was, he wasn't prime Mahomes. He wasn't, so they were very beatable. We just did not execute. We didn't do what we needed to do. We didn't make the catches that we needed to make. We didn't make the blocks that we needed to make. But there were moments in the game where the Saints had an opportunity to make their presence felt. Let's just say that, right? They just didn't do it. So in the end, man, it is what it is. But yeah, we definitely need to. Yeah, I seen the Mad Drummer. Yeah, we covered it. Yeah, we seen it. Yeah, I put it up there early in the stream. Yeah, I seen it. I seen the injury report. Yeah, it's a lot of guys on there, man. 11 Saint players on the injury report. And I'm interested to see what the Thursday injury report will look like going into Friday to see what's going on. My biggest thing is what happens with if Taysom Hill, and we know when we got Taysom, it's a different offense when we got Taysom Hill in. When Clint Kubiak has Taysom Hill, he wakes up. He wakes up as opposed to just over rely on the same guys, man. I don't know if he's gonna fix that. Brother Damien, what's up, Damien? How you doing, sir? He says, Q, at work, haven't been commenting, but you had me on the floor. Yes. Yeah, ass is grass. And oh yeah, buddy. I'll tell you something. Your ass is grass, bucko. Let me tell you something. I don't play no games. I keep that thing on me, and I practice. I look in the mirror. I'm like the Wild Wild West. I practice with it. You know, I twiddle it on my finger. And listen, it's unloaded. Nobody's in the room with me, but I practice. I got a cowboy hat. I turn it to the side. And I go, come on. Yeah, I'm telling you, I keep it on me. No cap. No cap. I'm gonna tell you something. Your ass is grass. If you don't listen to me, I'm putting Rattler in there. I'm like, man, y'all imagine Mickey Loomis telling Dennis Allen that shit. I'm like, I'm not buying it. Sorry. The only people that could tell him, hey, put Rattler in there is Mickey Loomis. The power is centralized in this. It's not hard to figure out who's pulling the levers of power in the Saints building. It's Mickey Loomis. They rely on Mickey Loomis, over rely on him. That's why I was saying take the general manager job away from him and give it to a younger general manager that's more in touch to this year's NFL or the modern NFL. Mickey's an older gentleman. You can keep the VP job. Just let's get somebody else as a general manager. He done served his purpose. Appreciate you. Time to move on. It happens. So that's what I was pushing for. But yeah, it's all him. And I don't see Mickey Loomis telling Dennis Allen what to do with his players. Oh, hold on now. You're gonna come here. Dennis, bring your ass here right now. Come here and stand right here. Yes, Mickey, can I help you? Well, listen here, guy. Let me tell you something. I'm mad as hell right here. I'm so mad you can fry an egg on my goddamn head. I'll tell you something. Listen. Your ass is going to play Rattler. Excuse me, Mickey? You heard what I said, goddammit. You're going to play Rattler. Why are we going to do that? Because I said so, goddammit. You're not going to. No, we're not going for that. That is ridiculous. We know Mickey Loomis is not going to do that. You know, he's not going to tell Dennis Allen that. Y'all know that. That's why I'm not buying that shit, man. Oh, man, hold on now. I tell you. No, Mickey's not going to do that. So, no, I'm not buying that, man. I'm not buying that shit, man. I'm sorry, man. Y'all can sell that somewhere else, man. All right, I'm going, man. I had enough, man. Y'all had enough, man. All right, so listen, fam, we appreciate y'all. Y'all do one thing for me. Y'all please feel free to hit the like button, maybe a couple of things. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed. And also, man, show our sponsors some love, man. The link's in the chat. Mint Mobile. Shout out to Mint Mobile. Teach Henley. That's skin support for the fellas. That's heavily endorsed by Reverend Saint. And Bet Online. Our sponsors' links are in the description section below. Some of them you can get some discounts when you sign up or whatever. And also you can check out our latest merch that's also available. The Show Me merch is available. The link is in the description section below. Also, the Rise Up to Fall Down gear. We'll be back later on in the year in week 10 to take care of them Falcons. So y'all make sure y'all get y'all Rise Up to Fall Down gear. Those links in the description section below as well. So anyway, shout out to all the fam. Appreciate the YouTube membership family, our Patreon champions. Shout out to our regular people. We'll be back on Thursday. We'll talk more about it. Much love. And who that to you.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Say they gonna beat them Saints. Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet Online. The game starts here.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps